Hey, welcome to Loser League's podcast.
Yeah.
My name's Ben Jefferson. We got
Mohit Jaswell. Yeah.
I should probably introduce you.
I was ready
for the hosting.
No, I was ready for anything. No, we're both hosting this.
We're killing it right now.
This is fun.
Welcome to our podcast where we talk wrestling stuff, but right now we're reviewing Fyter Fest. It's the second night of Fyter Fest. Hey, Mohit.
Hey,
how do you feel about it?
I thought it was perfectly fine. I thought it was perfectly fine. I mean, I had fun. There were some good moments, some boring moments, and it was all over the place. But I had fun watching it. I
think fine is a great way to describe this pay-per-view. But either way, let's just jump right into it. The first match of the night is Private Party versus Paige and Omega, and I was fine with this match. I'm fine with all tag team matches with AEW. I feel like AEW tag team matches are kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter. Like it's all very I don't think there's no semblance of order, but it was a fun match.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what makes it frustrating about AEW. A lot of people have complained about that in the past, about just that there's no tag rules. People just come in and out. It doesn't really matter. But that's what I like about FTR, which I guess we'll talk about later, that they are so, they're so stuck on the rules.
Yeah.
And it's great, yeah. But yeah, that's
wonderful.
That had some, this match had those moments too, where at times I didn't know who was who is the leading man or whatever? Who is the legal man? Leading man. That was weird. The legal person in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
You're always back to movies, Mohit. The leading man.
The leading man. Oh, that's where I got that from. Jeez.
The thing. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you this, but I kind of wrote woos and whats for each match. I didn't tell you to do this, but I just kind of put that in there. My big woo of the match, Hangman Page's entrance music.
Yeah.
Every time I hear it, I get so amped for it. It sounds very good. It's a very good entrance music.
And with the horse, the horse on the screen, I like that a lot. Yeah, it gets me pumped.
He has the best entrance besides Cody in AEW.
Also, I loved how he reacted to the fireworks. I think fireworks have been absent from wrestling for so long that I think a lot of them don't expect to see that, and so he is so hyped. I think they're all hyped, but him especially, where he just comes out, he's just it's already screaming, and you can't even hear what he says, and he just gets into that hype, and then boom, boom, and he's I could just see, it's just the little kid comes out at him, and I think that's so fun.
And he specifically, out of the AEW roster, is someone that I didn't care about at all when I first started watching. But I've liked him more and more ever since, because I just bought into the cowboy thing. I like his finisher. What is it called? Buckshot?
The buckshot lariat is where he does the flip over the top rope.
I think that's such a fun move and a great name. I kind of like the match. My big what of the night of the match, Matt Hardy, just in general, he doesn't need to be there.
He didn't do anything this match. Did he do anything?
He didn't. Nothing.
Yeah.
There was no purpose for him to even be out there.
Well, he's like their mentor, I guess. That's what they're going for. But he didn't do much.
But if you're going to have a mentor, have them do something. Arn Anderson does something. Jake the Snake does something. They all do something to be part of the match. Otherwise, you're just there.
Yeah. So I didn't catch this, but I think JR, somebody on commentary, mentioned that they were doing Hardy Boys moves at some point. Did you catch that? Okay, I'm not sure if that was...
I think he said that, but I didn't see any Hardy Boys moves from there. And in all honesty, I love Paige and Omega. I think they're very good wrestlers. And Private Party, I think, are great athletes. I don't want to neg on Private Party. I'm not going to go around doing that. They're great. They're great. I just feel like they need some seasoning. What do I know?
Well, the thing is, though, they're so young. They keep mentioning that, which I'm grateful for on commentary, that they're one of them is just turning 23, I think. So it's nuts to think that they're in the ring with Kenny Omega, especially, and they're just they've got a lot of potential.
They got a lot of potential. That's the best way.
What do you think about their finishers? The string cheese, I guess, it isn't their finisher, but that, and then the gin and juice off the top rope.
Did they do the gin and juice? I thought they were setting up for it, but they didn't do it.
No, they didn't get to do it in this match, but I just mean in general what your thought, because that's what I love about them. I think they have really exciting double team moves.
I think so too. My issue with their double team moves, I think they're all great when they're done well. The issue with them is it's a flip of a coin. Like they have to be. It's such a like. You have to be in the right spot, the right time, doing the same part at the same thing. It's such a very specific. All of their double team moves are so elaborate that they require such perfect circumstances. And the majority of the time I've seen them do their double team stuff, they've botched it.
I like double stuff when they do their double stuff. that's
I'm gonna start calling it
when
that.
They do the double stuff. I agree. Yeah, I don't know. The gin and juice it takes so much time to set up. You're right. I hadn't really thought of it that way. But I get hyped every time I see it. I think it's such a cool move when they pull it off. I think they just look so good doing it. Yeah.
They're real cool. I like them. I don't want them to stop. I want broken Matt Hardy to be a part of their crew and just have him be broken. Just have him say broken stuff outside or somehow give him a spell that makes him stronger or something. I don't know why Matt Hardy, his most successful singles character, is broken. Everything else, if he's going out as a Hardy Boy, he was the least interesting part of the Hardy Boys.
He was the least interesting Hardy Boy, and there were only two of them.
Yeah, he was the least interesting Hardy Boy. Yeah. With Surge, nobody's ever heard of. No. And the Mattitude thing was funny, but it's not something that's as good as Broken Matt Hardy. I just don't know why he'd do these lesser incarnations if he has such gold there.
Yeah, but AEW's taught me to trust them because I think what they've been doing for this first year. No, because you mentioned Hangman Page. What are you doing? You got that look in your face?
I'm waiting for you to hear this.
I'm already going up an uphill battle against you.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm in fighting mode.
No, because you mentioned Hangman Page. I didn't like him at first. I don't think a lot of people liked his character at first because they were like pushing him as like this world title holder or contender at first, right? But I think they listened to the audience and they pulled back and they kind of like tweaked his character until he's like really fun now and exciting, which is weird to say because he's an alcoholic as like a character, but it's fun, and it's a fun twist of what they're doing. So they've done that many times. Like the Nightmare Collective didn't work. And so they just canned it. And I think I respect that about them. So I'm giving them time to figure out Matt Hardy. Cause right now he's a like weird comedic character that isn't working yet. But I think they can find something fun to do with him. I think they're.
And I agree. I think they can. I think they already did. They found something fun with him, and he's reverting away from the fun thing. I mean, he owns all the broken world. He has the rights for it. He has the rights for all the broken stuff. He has his family a part of the thing. He has all these fun characters. Vanguard won. He had a fun little feud with Chris Jericho. But the thing is, like, why deviate from that magic? I don't know. It just feels like it's making it lesser then.
Do you what would you like to see more of, Len? Would you think
magic stuff? Have him be a magic man. He's on the outside.
You like the magic stuff. You like when he did the fire thing and the fire came up and
so good.
Yeah.
Let him be that. Because like there's no other character in AEW that is supernatural. He has a built-in supernatural character that is able to teleport when he's talking to Chris Jericho.
I mean, there's a wrestling dinosaur. I don't think that's supernatural. You're right, though. I see what you mean.
No, it's prehistoric. That's Mesozoic period.
Yeah, that's a whole different field of silliness.
But that's my thoughts on it. I love Broken Matt, and I would like to see more of it. And I feel I'm being deprived of it as a cruel joke.
I also think it doesn't work if there's no audience. But I don't know. We haven't seen Broken Matt with an audience in AEW. So I don't know. Anyways.
That's fair. Let's move on. We got Joey Janela versus Lance Archer. You know what? I'm going to go on the thing here. I liked it. I like this match. What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I loved that he came out with Sonny Kiss and threw Sonny Kiss.
That was great. I thought that was a great thing. And you talked about it maybe a little bit last week, your love for Lance Archer and how he used to beat up people in Japan and such. And like this was a good little taste of it, a good kiss of it, if you will.
You were kind of iffy on him. Were you kind of iffy? Oh, a Sonny kiss. That's good. Were you iffy on Lance Archer or?
One of the things is I have such a sour taste in my mouth from Lance Hoyt, who I thought was a lesser than Test.
Oh, sure.
And I remember seeing him in TNA and watching then Lance Hoyt with his little tramp stamp, which I'm so glad he covered up. I'm so glad he had this tramp stamp. And I think that's probably not a very politically correct term. He had a tattoo on the small of his back.
You're right. I didn't even think of that. You're good. That's good. That's good.
We made a save right there.
Yeah, that's
we did good. But I love the thing with Sonny Kiss. I thought that was great. How'd you feel about the match?
I thought it was good. I thought it sort of felt like a glorified squash match. Would you agree with that? I don't know. Yeah, that's how I felt about it. I thought. I think it's really hard to see Joey Janela make believable offense against Lance Archer. I think Lance Archer is so believable as a big, scary dude that will just destroy you. Compared to, I don't know. I was actually wondering what your thoughts were on this, on body image in wrestling. Because I don't like saying it. It feels weird, but I think it matters to me. I think you need to look buff and big in certain situations. And if you don't have that, then you need different skill sets to combat that. Like, I think what Joey Janela does is he's great at like sort of hardcore wrestling, like, and I could see him defending against Lance Archer if he used those things, but they did not allow him in this match to do that.
I agree 100%. I feel you have to work with your body type. That's what made Rey Mysterio so successful and Eddie Guerrero so successful. What made Andre and Taker and Kevin Nash so successful. It's the fact, like, if you have a body type, you work towards it. Doesn't make sense for Big Show to be given drop kicks, and it doesn't make sense for Hurricane to be using a choke slam. Even though I did enjoy it that one a few times, but let's not bring Hurricane into this. No, but I think the match was good, and it showed off Lance Archer a little bit, if not making him look a little bit weak, because Joey Janela, like you said, does not have very believable offense when he's brawling with that big guy. You're right. You should stick to hardcore wrestling or being faster than Lance Archer. A few things that I wrote down here. Glad he got rid of the tramp stamp. That's a big woo for me. What? The snake.
What was that?
Why would they? What?
Yeah, what was that? What was the deal with that?
Why did they even have the bag?
Does he? I mean, he does that all the time. It was a little bit silly. I'm not even sure what he was trying to do as a distraction, because Lance Archer was winning the match, I thought. And then I'm not sure what he was trying to do bringing it out. But yeah, it was a little too silly. Yeah. I guess.
And he ruined the gimmick too. He stepped on the damn bag.
He did?
He dropped the bag and he was walking away and he stepped on it and it didn't move. He just stepped on it. He did. He ruined the gimmick.
Tragic.
Also, a couple things. I'm waiting for them to finish Jake the Snake's haircut because it looks rough. I hate Jake the Snake's hair. I hate it so much. And Lance Archer's music is so bad.
No, it's so good.
As soon as that match ended, and you see this monster just destroy this guy, and he's got this cool red ponytail mohawk thing, and then all of a sudden it plays like this 2000s dorky rock. I don't know. It felt very like Papa Roach.
I mean, I like it because it's very like Japanese anime style. Like he just has a very good like New Japan look, I guess. I think a lot of New Japan has like anime quality to it. So I'm into it, but I can see why you're not into it too.
I'll allow it.
I guess so we're really doing it. We're doing a woo and a what, but for every okay. So
well, we don't have to. Let's if it feels natural.
No, let's do it. Let's go for it. So you already gave a woo and a what, I think.
Yeah, I gave a woo and a what.
I guess my woo is his finisher off the apron onto a table on the ground.
Oh yeah,
blackout. Yeah. I thought that was great. And then, but not just that, but then he grabs his head and starts smashing it into the broken wood piece. That's
what a great piece. That's great. That was wonderful. And and you're right. Everything goes back to what you said last week about how he's a scary guy. He can be a scary guy, and he does these little things that matter. What's your what of the week?
I think I agree with you. I think it's Jake. I don't see what he did in that match. I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish there. It just took me out of it. and making me ask questions that I didn't really care about.
And I don't want to see Jake the Snake in the same picture as Sonny Kiss, because I'm just waiting for Jake to say something offensive.
Does he do that?
Yeah, I think he has. I went to a stage show once in Austin, and boy, we're littered with offensive material.
Oh yeah, he does that. Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't listen to a lot of his interviews, but I listened to him on Joe Rogan like whenever he did it a year or two ago, and it was tough. It was real tough to listen to because I want to like him, and he has really great stories, but it's just like this is good, and then he just like dips and like no, I just wish you didn't do that, and then it's tough. It's tough to.
But one of what I think is I feel like people, not to get too segued off into real life, but I feel like people like Jake Roberts and formerly like Tony Schiavone. If you listen to Tony Schiavone's podcast a year or two ago, he said some pretty inflammatory things, like about homophobia, transphobia, and now he's so supportive of the trans community. He's so supportive of Nyla Rose. He's like, like maybe these encounters, them bringing these old pieces of shit into the company to interact with the new world, the damn new world. Maybe it's going to make them better. That's what my hope is.
I think so. I think it's definitely helping JR out, for God's sake. Yeah.
Oh, JR is so on the right side of history right now. It's disgusting.
He's doing a good job. Yeah. He's figuring it out.
He's all about the masks, Black Lives Matter. He's working on his pronouns.
He's working on it.
His best.
He's trying. You can see it every week. Yeah. Lots of awkward pauses in between each show and every match. But yeah.
Sure. Well, let's get to the next part. Your favorite part of the show, Darby Allin's big old video.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. But actually, honestly, it was one of my favorite parts of the show.
Oh man.
Let's go into it. Yeah, I don't know. I thought. What's that? No, what'd you think? Yeah.
No. I want to hear what you think. I want you to explain how you like it.
Well, so this one I didn't like. I want to like it so bad because I think it's just hitting this level of cheesiness that is fun. But I'm not. Again, it's like I don't know who that guy was that he points to. Like, I got this cool dude here. He owns this big thing. Like, I don't know. It makes me feel old. Like, I feel like I should know him.
I beg you to rewatch last week's. Let me just give a picture of what happened this last week and this week. Last week was a bunch of poorly shot footage of him on a skateboard, lighting people on fire. Very backyard stuff that Mohit vehemently defended.
It was great.
And this week we have him literally just talking to this hill person. He was wearing this fucking American flag t-shirt. And he just
you called him a hill person? Yeah. What does that even mean? That's so sad. It's
a hill person. Oh. It's a nice way of saying hillbilly.
Yeah, I know.
It's the nicest way to call it. And he just falls into a pit of foam. And that's it. It was maybe 30 seconds long. I started writing out ideas of what he could have done because he's a filmmaker. That's why I defended it last time, is that he gets to make his like ridiculous face. And I said he was 23. He's definitely not 23. He's like 28. I looked it up, and that's enough years to not make crappy movies. But that's another thing. I was thinking, if you're a filmmaker, like instead of falling into the like foam pit, just cut out the foam pit and fall into something way more exciting. Fall into space. Just float away into space until you become like a tiny dot, or I was thinking you could fall into like you're a torpedo. You get launched into the Titanic, and the Titanic sinks because of your coffin drop. There's so many exciting things you could do, man. With that Tony Khan budget, yeah, imagine the special effects they could add to that VHS camera. I didn't know. I mean, I don't know. I felt like I could do that. There's nothing exciting just falling into a very safe... We can't give Darby Allin's garbage video any more time on this podcast. Okay. Let's move on to Taz and Cage. Taz comes out and he reveals the FTW title. What were your thoughts, Mohit? Super cool. Loved it. Yeah. I like and later on when they show the match graphic for next week, he's got the belt on him, so it's two guys with belts. It's a great gimmick. It's great. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. A few things that I noted here. Thank God Cage isn't wearing a shirt.
That's
last
funny.
week he was wearing a shirt.
Yeah, and then JR meant comment on it. And that, yeah, if I were him, I would never wear a shirt. That's what
that was directly JR's influence. He went in the back and he's just like, listen. I'm glad that he's not wearing a shirt. What?
I imagine it was Brian Cage talking to his abs. Listen, you guys.
Listen.
I did you dirty tonight. We gotta fix this.
But it was a fine promo. Fun. I'm glad with the FTW title. That's cool. And here's a problem that I'm having with AEW and branding. So they have two different Cassidys, right? Orange Cassidy, Isaiah Cassidy. They have FTW and FTR.
Ooh, good. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
And also, like, so I just like, it's these little things that like are going to get confusing. If they keep adding to this world where there's multiple FTW, FTR, million Cassidys out there, it just seems like a lack of direction. By the way, what's that?
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I was going to say I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed that they're called FTR, but I accepted it. But I love. That's another topic, for another time. But FTW is already a thing that's been a thing for a decade or something. So like
2 decades.
I think they were stuck with that. If they want to bring in Taz and do the FTW gimmick, like it's already kind of there.
No, I get it. I do get it. I feel like I almost want them to make a new belt. I almost want them to make a new thing. He could talk about FTW. He could talk about that, but make a new machine belt. They're
both acronyms for fucking.
Sure.
I didn't even think of that. The F stands for the same thing in both of them.
Yeah.
Weird.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad that we talked about that.
Nothing else. Yeah, let's move on.
Any thoughts? Any extra thoughts? I
just wrote down I really liked how Taz kept saying renegade shit, but like in his like New York accent. Renegade shit. Renegade shit. That's really funny.
He did say renegade shit a lot. He did. Now we're on to the Lucha Brothers, Blade and Butcher versus Fuck the Revolution and Young Bucks.
Here we go. I'm ready now. Yeah.
I was going into this match with the expectations that it's just the least organized match in the history of matches. And what I got wasn't too bad. I was pretty pleased with it. It was fun. It was exciting. It felt like a TV match, but it was fun.
So you weren't into it?
No, I was into it. That's what I'm saying. It was fun. I thought I wasn't going to be into it.
Oh.
I honestly thought, because there's so many teams in there, and it was just going to get disgusting. But they started the match off great, nice and slow, and it showed off FTR's. The FTR's great, and you could tell that they were the best part. In my opinion, they were the best part of that match because everything they did looked good. They set up a lot. They made things believable. They followed the damn rules.
Yeah. This is kind of jumping ahead, but mentioning like I love that one like quadruple tag team move they did. I don't know, where they got the Young Bucks and FTR together, but they took the moment to tag every single person and then built this suspense up that you just don't get with just everyone just piling in and doing their thing. But it got me interested. I'm like, what is going to happen?
Yeah,
that was good.
No, 100%. That's actually what I wrote here. A big woo to teamwork.
Big woo to teamwork.
Woo. Teamwork. They did such good teamwork, and they built. What was great about this, there was that actual great story going on where they were talking about how are they going to work with the Young Bucks? They're two teams that work really well together. How are these two different teams? And they work seamlessly where they're doing each other's finishers and all that stuff. But then he got super kicked. What is his name? Dawson? Scott Dawson?
Man,
he has a new name.
I don't know their names yet. I'm still figuring
it out.
The bald one. I know Dax.
He kicked the bald one in the head.
Cash Wheeler and Dax Shepard?
Hardwood.
Dax Hardwood? God. Yeah, it's a lot of names to remember. A lot of multiple names for the same people. It's yeah. But
yeah, well, it was a good match. You could tell that although I like everyone in the match, I do like the Blade and the Butcher. You could tell that they got a little confused in the match a few times. At least I noticed.
There were a couple. It was a weird gimmick having multiple teams in there. I think the pacing was off at first. I think it just felt awkward for everybody involved. But they picked it up by the end, which was fun.
Yeah, 100%. Great. A very fun match. Very fun match, and I wasn't upset by it.
The Canadian Destroyer into the crowd. Or not, well, it wasn't a crowd. It was the people at the bottom. So you're not into flippy moves, are you? I love flippy moves.
No, I like flippy moves. And I wasn't mad at that. I actually do historically hate the Canadian Destroyer.
Oh, historically?
Historically. Since Petey Williams started doing it, I remember, like, when he first, and I just remember thinking, like, in order for you to do that move, the other person has to do all the work.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is my big issue with it, because that's the same thing with the Spanish fly trap.
What do you not like about that? About the other person doing the work? Is it unbelievable?
It's unbelievable. Because it's so unbelievable to me that someone's going to have their head, unless it's a react. You could play it off. It all depends, I guess, on how I don't like it as a finisher. I like it as a counter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I think so. For me, what is bad about it is when they get older people to do it that don't make sense. Like they got Ricky Morton to do it at a pay-per-view last year. And that guy's got to be in his 60s or something, and he's doing these ridiculous flips that just don't make sense for him. That pisses me off. But the Canadian Destroyer in this match made sense to me because there's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of running. Like you can kind of see how it works. And plus it just looks like visually impressive. Right?
Yeah, no, you know what? You're right. I love that. I thought it was really cool. I just have a lot of baggage for the Canadian Destroyer.
Oh,
I just have a lot of baggage. But one of the thing is, you're right, because in all honesty, I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. But then I was just like, but it's the Canadian Destroyer.
That's fair.
I have to get rid of that bias for certain things.
Yeah,
that was good. That was pretty fun. What was great about it was seamless.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're so good at that. All these like super creative moves that just happen, like that feel like they believable in the match. Particularly the Young Bucks when they're paired with Lucha Brothers, because that move, I don't think I've ever seen that before in that iteration into the like over the top rope the way they did it, and I find that so exciting about that move and pro wrestling that I've been watching for all these years, all these decades, and I can still see something new, and like there like a team comes along that like is still innovative of this like old art form at this point.
Yeah. Overall, very fun match. Very fun match. We move on to backstage segment with Big Swole. Apparently, she was suspended for kidnapping and harassment.
As she should be. Yes, this is good. This is a podcast that loves the rules. And
we do love the rules.
These are the rules.
We should call ourselves for FT rules, like for the rules.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what they're like. Technically, they said that their name is
for the Revolution.
No. So in a real like dummy segment, like their first interview segment with Tony Schiavone, he was just like, what do you think what does FTR stand for? And he's like, well, it could mean a lot of things. It means multiple names. It could be for the rules, like for the revolution. It could be a lot of things. And it gets really quiet. And he's just like, oh, because I thought it meant fuck the revival. And then they just like stare at him and like, it's pretty funny, but
that's pretty fun.
They did mention that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, that's our new name.
Well,
now,
we'll steal it. So yeah.
We'll steal it. But I don't, Big Swole, I guess it's fine. It's a story. I just felt like it wasn't doing her any favors, Big Swole, by like walking to the place, being told she can't come in, and then walking back.
Yeah,
didn't make her look tough. Didn't make her look cool. It kind of just made her look like a dork.
Yeah, they really botched that one. I like Big Swole, and I also
like her too.
And I like Britt Baker, and I'm excited to see their match whenever Britt heals up, but. I don't know. I think they were trying to do like a old school like Steve Austin thing. Like she's just like this badass rebel sort of character.
But you can't walk away from someone saying no, you can't come in, and then just walk back.
Unless you're in like an 18-wheeler filled with like beer or milk or something. Then that's cool. I was expecting something like that to happen. I don't know what the equivalent for her is, but yeah.
Well, we're gonna get back to that because she comes back in a little bit. We'll get back to that very soon. Next, we got Nyla Rose versus Paige and King. I don't know their first names. I just wrote their last. It's a handicap match. Nyla Rose picks up the victory. What did you think?
Good squash match.
Great squash match.
Really good. Yeah, it was really cool moves. Like I don't know. They made it really interesting instead of just like a standard beat 'em up sort of match. And I know that you were talking about that last week. That's one like gripe of yours of AEW is they don't have lots of like different matches. Here you go.
This was perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. I think Nyla Rose is such a treasure. I think she's a great part of that division. I think she's great on the mic. Like what her on the mic afterwards was great. But what I'm so excited for is her having a manager.
Mm-hmm.
Her having a female, because there are no female managers. There's valets, but I haven't ever. Want to who I would love?
Who?
And I want to hear. Well, first, this is who I want. This is who I would love. Vicky Guerrero.
No!
What do you mean? She's perfect.
No, I'm saying that because you're probably right. Because she's already with the company and she's already. Oh, that's bad. I don't like her. I find her so annoying. But I guess
perfect.
But I guess that's why people like her is because she's annoying as hell and you want to see her get beat up or something.
I love Vicky Guerrero. I thought she was my favorite part of wrestling for a very small part of time, where she would come out and it didn't matter what she said. The way she said it was so funny and perfect and evil. Evil.
Yeah, that voice.
What, do you dislike it?
No, what, the manager thing? No, I love the manager idea.
You dislike Vicky? No,
I'm just like disappointed because I think you cracked it already. I think that's probably who it's going to be, because I can't think of any. I'd assume it'd be an older person, because probably that's
almost definitely a female.
Yeah, it has to be female and older, because every other manager is an older generation wrestler. I thought maybe like if a swerve like AJ Lee or like who's a good talker, female. Oh, yeah.
Well, they don't have to necessarily do a good talker. Like, I feel like, they should. They should with a manager. But even someone like, I don't know what Bull Nakano's doing anymore.
That's actually true. Yeah.
Because, like, Mr. Fuji was a pretty silent manager. Can you still see me?
Yeah. Can you still see me?
Yeah, I had a weird... My phone's at 20%.
Oh, no. We got to hurry up.
I wasn't expecting to use my phone.
Well, that's what we got to do sometimes.
That's what we do on this podcast. Loser Leaves podcast. We make it work. It's DIY, baby.
Yeah.
But what were you saying?
One thing I thought she brought up a great fact in her promo of how every manager or every wrestler that has a manager has a belt, and it's true now. I think now with the FTW belt, it's true, and she mentions that, and I thought that was such a good thing, like, because the best heels are and best villains in movies and everything are the ones that are true, that you can believe in, and it makes sense now why she wants a manager and why she thinks that's going to lead her to win. Yeah,
and I love her comment, like, Brian Cage has been here for 2 weeks, and now he's got Taz has gotten him a title shot. I love that. I thought that was great. Then we move on to Colt, Cabana, and Brodie in the back. That was just like literally a second. It was fine.
It was fine. That bruise looks gross. I couldn't tell if that was real or not, or what was going on there.
I was trying to figure that out too. It looked good.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about that happening to him, like any rumors or something. I'm not sure what the hell that was all about, but it was gross. It was good. It was good for the match. Yeah.
Then we go to Dark Order versus SCU. Dark Order picks up the win here. I thought I had fun with this match, even though there were some parts that I was a little iffy on. I liked it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was. Oh man, what are you at now?
Hold on, don't even look at me.
No,
right.
You're God.
Here we go. No, I know my alarm went off. I have to take my medication.
Is that why the medication was there the whole time on the table? Yeah. I was wondering. I thought that was a really strange choice of design, like, because you got Tim the Plant, you got a broken down candle.
I think it's funny,
and you got your medicine. Yeah. Well, you got to take care of yourself. Bit. Let's hydrate. Let's take a moment.
Well, I've been drinking vodka this entire time. Just straight vodka, no chaser.
You're gonna kill me. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready now. I'm crying a little. Okay.
Yeah, there was a fine match. I thought the Colt did a great job. I love Colt right now.
Yeah. I loved his good acting.
Yeah,
good acting.
Great acting. And he's always been a very smart wrestler, like very smart, like almost too smart, where he's making jokes and cracking things in the ring. But he's like a really good, like he's like when he avoided the turnbuckle pad because he didn't want to get hit in his ribs, so he stepped on it and then immediately went for a leg. Or these little things where he's trying to avoid getting hit in the chest, which I thought was great.
That's good. Yeah. That's a really good insight that you caught that. I didn't catch that, and that's really good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I noticed some of the bigger moments where he like gets hit and he screams really loud when he got hit in his like wound area. Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
he's a real treasure. What was that?
Oh yeah, no, I loved it. I thought I loved his just how sad he looked. He had this like kind of goofy but terrified expression, which I relate to a lot personally. But yeah, he just looked like this sad lost puppy dog, and it was great. Yeah, I like this gimmick, this story they're going.
Yeah, I like where they're going. Dark Order. I'm a big fan of the Dark Order.
I've come around.
I love their presentation where they're all standing in the back.
Yeah.
And what is that one guy, the fat guy in the middle? Uno?
That's Uno, baby.
It's Uno.
Evil Uno. Evil Uno. I love Evil Uno.
I hated him before Brodie Lee came in. But now he's like the second command. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with him now. He's not a leader. Because he's very embarrassing looking.
Yeah, but I could see him as a number 1 guy or number 2 guy.
He's a great handyman. He's a great right hand.
He rises up the corporate ranks, but he's just not good enough to get, to be leader, to usurp the leader. So I see that. I know people like Evil Uno. I know lots of Evil Unos in the world.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, man. Can we go back for a second?
Yeah,
Speaking of Evil Uno, with that 8-man tag, he made this really funny tweet about how there's so many different characters with cars in AEW now. They've established enough cars to make their own wacky car game, like Twisted Metal or something.
Like a crazy taxi?
Yeah, because you got the FTR car, you've got the best friend's car with Trent's
best friend's
mom,
van,
Sue's mom, or I forgot her name off the top of my head, but yeah,
Susan.
Yeah, and then you have all these cars. You can make a car game, and I think that's so fun.
That's pretty great. I think that's a great idea. I think I would love that, like a crazy taxi. Remember when they did that on The Simpsons? They had Simpsons Crazy Taxi, Hit and Run.
Yeah, Hit and Run. Yeah. That was good. Yeah, I like that. I was a fan of Twisted Metal. I was obsessed with Twisted Metal 3 or Twisted Metal Black, or I think it was called, but whatever. It's been a long time. But anyways, with the one thing I wrote, I think it's really funny to hear JR try to get Dark Order over. And I wrote down, because at one point he just didn't have anything to say, but he knew he's like, they're scary. So he just went like, look at their eyes, and they probably they probably don't smell right, and they just look evil. It's like you're trying so hard. Like, you got nothing though.
Well, it's funny. I wrote down the exact same thing. I wrote JR loves and hates Brodie Lee's eyes.
Yeah. He's like, those eyes.
Ooh. He's like the dark, beady eyes. I love them. They're evil, like dog's eyes. I love them.
And then at one point he's like, when they're like they're evil, like stay away, children. Stay away. Yeah, that was really good.
He did say to stay away, children, which I don't want to hear JR's voice doing. Next, we got Big Swole and Britt Baker. They're back. Big Swole snuck into the arena with a mask on and confronted Britt Baker. It was fine. Yeah. I thought her breaking her nose was really funny. Because she threw a piece of paper, hit the one woman. Who was the woman that was in front of her?
Reba? I don't know.
I have to get better with all the people on AEW roster.
It's like her assistant, but I guess I just missed when they explained who she was. It must have been a while ago or something. I don't know. But like I know she's connected to her, and she's like her assistant. But I just missed her name, and they don't really put a lot of spotlight on her, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Swole, so far the entire night, has never looked good. She's always looked bad. But at least Britt Baker had a broken nose, had a very funny Marsha moment, because she did sell the nose broken pretty fun. Yeah. She had a fun time with that. But otherwise, Big Swole looks like a piece of shit.
I think, it was a real bad intro to that, because I don't think she, like, hyped it up the right way, or it wasn't, like... So she walks in and they immediately know who she is, and they're immediately like, you gotta go. Like, I think it's silly, but I think it makes sense in wrestling logic where they're just like, who is she? What's going on? And then like the dramatic reveal.
Sure.
But they're immediately like, leave. And then she still acts like nobody knows who she is. And she's like, oh no. And, and then finally she takes it off, throws the piece of paper, which is, I don't understand. I don't know. But they saved it with the crazy acting in the end. Like I ended up really falling in love with that.
Yeah. 100%. I didn't like it up until the broken nose.
Yeah.
But I agree with you entirely. Then we move on to Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho picks up the win. I did not catch the time. I thought it was a really great match. That was the only match I was looking forward to seeing. And I thought it met what I was looking for.
What were you looking for?
Orange Cassidy to show a different side, kind of pull out some new tricks. Jericho to give him a little bit, kind of like a run for his money. Even though AEW does that a lot, AEW does that so much, it's almost lost meaning of like the veteran struggling to beat the new upcomer. They do that every week. Once a week they do that with either Cody or Jericho.
Yeah.
But this was a good one because I like Orange Cassidy a lot. Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought their entrances were great. What did you think?
I thought the entrance was fantastic. I loved that. I thought it was just such great, heel energy immediately, where Orange Cassidy gets best friends to leave, and it's like this kind of heroic kind of thing. And then Jericho immediately comes out with Santana Ortiz and a baseball bat. And it's just like, I don't know, they just set that
and
up.
They're all carrying juice.
Yeah, very silly. That was a little silly, but I liked it.
No,
yeah.
I thought it was silly. I liked it. But one thing, orange juice is definitely a disqualification.
Yeah. And she's like...
That's a major disqualification.
Really strange.
There's acid in that orange juice.
Acid, yeah.
There's citric acid in that
it's literally...
juice.
Yeah, it could have blinded him. Yeah. It's dangerous. Yeah, I don't know why they kept it... Yeah, but then best friends came in, so maybe in like the wrestling world, like it's okay if you cheat, but then you get immediately punched in the face, then it's allowed. Maybe that's just the way the world works.
This isn't politics, Mohit. This is wrestling.
There are rules, damn it. Yeah. There was one point, random commentary quote, Tony Schiavone halfway through thinks that Orange Cassidy is wrestling a perfect match, which I just thought was hilarious because up until that point, 80% of the match, he was getting his ass kicked. And he was just like crawling on the ground. It's like, for all intents and purposes, he's wrestling a perfect match. Like, I just thought, yeah. Nothing else there.
I love when Tony Schiavone, because he's notorious for doing this, being only in that very singular moment and saying, this is the greatest moment of all time.
Yeah.
He's big in that.
I also was a big fan of the abdominal stretch. Totally random, but Jericho puts Orange Cassidy in an abdominal stretch and does the thing where he grabs the ropes from behind when the referee's not looking. They did it a little too fast. I in my memory as a kid, when they would do that in early 90s, I felt like those lasted for like 20 minutes. And it was excruciating to watch. And it was so, I was so angry that the ref couldn't see that stuff. But I
think you're entirely right that they did it too fast. Because, that whole move where she kicks the hand off should have a bigger reaction. In other matches, I remember this one match with it was The Rock versus Triple H, and Triple H kept doing that the entire match, and then Earl Hebner got so frustrated that he kept cheating after numerous times of cheating that then he kicked it, crowd popped, what's the ref's name? I forget her name.
Aubrey Edwards. She kicked it, but there was just no build up to it. So I kind of feel like that was a wasted opportunity to do the Earl Hebner kick. Yeah, my thoughts are that they probably messed up the timing because there wasn't a crowd there to kind of connect it and really lengthen it. I think that makes me really understand how much the crowd matters in that case of really knowing how long to hold on, and for the ref to understand that too, of when to check, when to listen in on them,
And just an interesting note just about that, it's a little off topic, but Adam Cole recently did an interview, I think it was today, where he was talking about the fact that having a match with no crowd hurts more.
Because physically?
Physically hurts.
I said not emotionally.
Yeah. But not having the adrenaline there, not having that, and also having to hit harder because the sounds and the noise.
Oh, wow. That's true.
And so like it's a very interesting thing. You're pulling someone in an abdominal stretch, which still hurts a little bit. Your body's contorting in a way that's not great. Like, and without that crowd response of hearing that roar, hearing that die down, you hold it in for like what feels like 30 seconds, but it's actually just 2 seconds because no one's giving you that reaction.
That's interesting. Yeah. I'm watching a lot of UFC now, and like it's intense. So they're doing empty arena fights now as well. And it's intense because you can now hear, without 20,000 fans, screaming, you can hear every single punch and kick. Yeah. And it's really disturbing, and it makes the fights like harder to watch. Yeah. And that makes me wonder how much influence they're giving into pro wrestling, like because of UFC, MMA has now kind of become more of a staple in pro wrestling. And it makes me wonder if like, oh, now that they can hear that, and now we know that this is what a punch really sounds like when two people are going at it.
Oh.
Now we have to push that forward too.
Oh, Lord. Well, that was the end of the night, but we still had some extra credit. We had the Puppy Bowl. We had the Puppy Bowl afterward. We both watched the Puppy Bowl. What are your thoughts on the Puppy Bowl, Mohit?
Dastardly.
No, not the Puppy Bowl. It's the Puppy Battle Royale.
Yeah.
I keep saying Puppy Bowl. It's the Puppy Battle Royale. What are your thoughts on the Puppy Battle Royale?
First of all, it's a damn shame that MJF had to win this. I was just that damn puppy did nothing that whole match. All he did was just act cute in the corner and think he thought he could get away with that. But yeah, it's not. He's gonna have his day. His day is coming. He's gonna. Yeah, we're gonna get his revenge.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that you're taking a big stand on this, Mohit.
It's absurd.
Someone's got to stand against MJF Puppy. My favorite part, honestly, was Tony Schiavone's commentary.
I liked it a lot.
It was because he loves it so much. He loves it so much, and him saying like at the end of the women's. The girls' Puppy Battle Royale, he starts screaming, "Suicida! Suicida!" because the puppy jumped out of the ring. Like, everything about it, Tony Schiavone had such a ball doing it. I feel like I said with Tony Schiavone before, he's the Mean Gene of wrestling right now, and I think he should do these Puppy Battle Royales more often.
He had a great line where he said, "Oh, wait, you said you want to do more Puppy Battle Royales?" Like a weekly basis or something. Yeah,
monthly.
I could live with these, especially because it was only like 5 minutes or something. I could watch.
I'd watch it each time to hear Tony Schiavone talk over these puppies having fun.
He had a really great line, something of how like he thought this is the best match. This match was better than anything he saw in 2000. Anything he had to call in the 2000s. I thought that was good.
That was good.
I thought it was good. And then, they did that like video that explained why they were doing a Puppy Battle Royale, because it kind of felt like sort of random out of nowhere that they would do it. But Tony Khan, like nice guy Tony Khan, like doing it to try to like bring awareness to this thing. And I thought, it was pretty emotional, like unexpectedly.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. And they did a great job. AEW had I think that honestly, I was more surprised by last week. Like the last week of Fyter Fest, but this week held up well. I thought it was a fun, free pay-per-view, 2-week pay-per-view. What are your final thoughts on it?
Oh, the bikini girls were not there. There were no bikini women. I like to think that my influence, they saw this and they figured it out. Yeah, they took my notes.
Lord, we're reaching out. That follower you got on Twitter probably said something to them.
Yeah.
They only gave a word.
He saw it. Yeah, the woos and whats are working out, Red. I mean, that was like,
well, what's your woo?
That was like number one. No, I'm not done yet. I want to stay on this pedestal, so I was like, now I'm off. Okay.
I'm not taking this away from you, Mohit. You won. You beat AEW.
It took me half of the show to realize that they weren't there anymore, and I was just so proud of myself.
I'm not joking. I didn't even realize until you mentioned.
Yeah.
Great job, Mohit.
Yeah, thanks. They suck.
Mohit, you're changing the goddamn world. Yeah. One AEW event at a time. What's your woo and what of the evening?
I totally forgot to write my woo and what.
Yeah, but just off the top of your head, best thing you saw tonight, worst thing you saw tonight.
Oh, boy. Well, honestly, I know You didn't like it, but I like that Canadian Destroyer off the top rope just because I never seen anything like that before, and I get excited about that stuff. Yeah, so that's my woo of the night: Canadian Destroyer off the top rope.
What's your what?
What is my what? Darby Allin.
Yeah.
It's Darby Allin.
Yeah, damn right it is.
But just for this week,
right
I still have faith in him. But yeah, Darby Allin this week, it was too lame.
Yeah.
That's me. That's my what. I want to try to make I want to try to emphasize. That's why I'm trying that out this episode. I went for my woo of the week and my what. Yeah, I'm trying that out. I don't know. How does that feel? It doesn't feel great.
No, it's good. No, keep doing it. I like you exploring the emphasis.
Okay. I'll try a different emphasis next week.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. My woo.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna try. I don't know.
Yeah.
My woo is Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose all day. I thought everything she did, like her squash match, was a lot of fun. It was the most entertaining thing that I had this week, honestly. I thought it was different than anything else I saw. And her after-match promo was great, and it leaves me excited for next week, or hopefully soon, when we find out who her manager is. It hit all my buttons. Great moment, leads me to something else that I'm looking forward to. That's my big woo. My what?
Yeah. Oh man, that was awesome. Oh wow, I did not expect to enjoy that as much as I did. Yeah.
My what is Darby Allin. Darby Allin is the worst piece of shit on the show. 100%. I don't hate you, Darby Allin. I think you're a great wrestler. I think you're a fun time to have on the show. Boy, do I wish these videos never existed. These should be kept to your home videos for you and your friends.
Real bad. He's great as a wrestler.
He's great.
Big fan.
He's great.
Yeah,
I think he's very entertaining, and I think they should play up this guy that's half dead.
Yeah.
His face is painted half dead. Be this guy that's not an Undertaker. You're like one of Undertaker's druids that left Undertaker, and now you're trying to figure it out on your own. You're just this fucking druid that's roaming the earth, right?
I guess
right?
so. Yeah, you sound like an old-timey exec that's that's like trying to tell the kids what's hip today. Like you're a druid, but you're like a hip druid. That's not...
Mohit, my spirit animal is a 1950s executive.
That's what I see it now. Yeah. That's
yeah, unfortunately. Well, this is a great show. We had a great Fyter Fest. How did you feel about the whole Fyter Fest?
I had fun watching it. I had fun talking about it. I'm excited for Fight for the Fallen. Didn't expect another one next week, so that's going to be great. Yeah.
And they did a good job of promoting it.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited for a lot of those matches. I'm excited to see Brian Cage again. It was a shame we didn't get to see him tonight, but it's good. Yeah, it's good.
He's going to be, and they're, a real good time. I'm excited for it. AEW, great job. Excellent job. I don't know about, what's his face? We don't watch the other people. We don't watch the other brand. Yeah. But I hope they're fine. I like Keith Lee.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm probably going to watch it. I'll watch it tomorrow.
I don't have my WWE Network subscription anymore.
Oh, yeah. It's all on YouTube. Bad. You can don't feel bad about that. I
just want it now. I don't feel bad because I don't want to support Trump through WWE, but I want to see it now.
Yeah.
Do you want a spoiler?
I already know this. Yeah, because the friggin' guy spoiled it for everybody last week. You're talking about the picture? Yeah.
Yeah, Keith Lee.
Yeah, it's insane.
I guess anyone who sees this, it would already be done. So yeah, Keith Lee. Good job, Keith Lee.
Yeah, it's nice. I wonder if it happened. I thought maybe there was a swerve. I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it. But I thought maybe. You know what I mean? Like he takes a photo and everyone's like, well, there's no reason to watch it now. And then
I think you're onto something.
They do multiple endings.
Yeah.
No, but I'd like Keith Lee to win. He's great.
Yeah. Well, Mohit, this is the end of our show. This is Loser League Podcast. Mohit, where can we find you on Instagram?
Mohit Jaswal with a 1.
No, there's a number 1 at the end.
That sucks.
No, it's good. It's good. You're number 1. That's what we have to remember. Like Evil Uno, you're number 1. I'm Red @Red_Jefferson. This is Loser League's Podcast. Please subscribe and make sure you hit those buttons to like and subscribe us. And we're also on Twitter, right, Mo?
Yeah, Mohit Jaswal, Twitter, Red Jefferson, Twitter, and then Loser Leagues Pod at Twitter.
Is it Loser Leaves Pod?
Yeah, like podcast. I was going with that.
I love that. It says Loser Leaves Pod.
Really?
Rather than podcast. I think that's cute.
I made that, and I was wondering, like, why not just add the cast? Why not?
No. It's fun. It's fun.
I was doubting myself, like, well, because it's cool, I'll do pod, and I immediately regretted it when I hit enter, but...
I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
I want you all to support Mohit and say that you did a great job in the comments. My name's Red Jefferson.
My name's Mohit Chaswell.
And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.